Right, boys, here we go. So we've spoken a lot about success, what it takes, habits, mindset, blah, 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 blah. You can go back and watch other videos that I've done and spoken about that. But today, rather than talking about it and speaking about it, I thought I would actually show you something. So welcome to my Miro board. Now, truth be told, this is the first time I've literally ever used Miro, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so what we've got here, super simple. We've got two axes. Let's make this a bit straight. I've got OCD, so I'm going to want to make this as straight as possible. Two axes, okay? We don't need it to be massive. Let's do it like this. Okay, there we go. Cool. So, am I going to write text? Yeah, I can do that here. Okay. Oh, wow. Who's defaulted this to like the smallest font ever? Okay, let's make that 100 maybe. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got time. And then over here, brilliant, that's better. It's defaulted. I like this. Success. Okay, cool. So we've got time on this axis. We've got success on this axis. Okay, let me hide this. What is this? Cool. So I've kept success purposefully vague because you can apply it to anything. So this could be fitness, this could be nutrition, diet, mindset, business, relationship, career, whatever you want it to be, okay? Because this model basically works for everything. And you've basically got three paths as a man that you can take. So, pen, here we go. So this is the path, and this is going to be terrible, by the way, because I'm doing this on a laptop. I don't even have a mouse. This is the path that most men take. Okay, they just sort of do this, and they get the odd one here or there. There, cool. So this path is what we call a balanced life. This is someone who is trying to do everything. This is someone who is playing by the rules. This is someone who is ticking every box. This is someone who's using their pronouns in LinkedIn. This is someone who is fucking, they go to all the rallies and they do everything and they try and solve all the problems and they try and keep everybody happy. And, it's Bob from down the hallway, right? He's loyal. He's been at the same company his whole life, blah, 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 blah. And he has done everything, supposedly done everything, right? He's been done everything he has been told to do. And over time, he has gotten more successful in his life, okay? In his career, in his fitness, in his relationships, whatever, everything. His money's up, his body's up. He's okay. He's doing all right, right? But most men don't want this, particularly if it's going to take this long to get here. Like, honestly, that is painful. Bear in mind, time here, we're talking like this could be like 10 to 20 years, right? So this is just a line on a piece of paper, or on a virtual whiteboard. But if this was to take you 10 to 20 years and you'd gone from here to here, which is literally like this much growth, and I said, yep, you're going to get that, but it's going to take you like 10 to 20 years, you'd be like, fuck that. Okay. So that is the path most commonly walked by men. Okay. Let's see if I can. Oh, look at that. That's cool, isn't it? Right. Now let's talk about a second path. Now, this is a second path, which I don't think many guys here, especially the ones watching this, are going to be following, but I think it's worth noting. And this is what happens when you when you fall off a cliff, basically. So you're going like this, maybe a bit of a win, and then whoom. And basically what I'm demonstrating with this path here, guys, is bad habits compound to get a very bad result very quickly. So negative outputs produce negative results very quickly. And it's very easy if you start to compound these habits to get a very negative result very quickly, okay? So it's important to see this. And then once you get to here, you've kind of fallen into the abyss, you've fallen off a cliff, you can make it back. But even if you make it back, you're making it back to just a baseline because you've fallen into negative territory here. And by the way, I was this guy. I didn't go quite this far down, I don't think, but I certainly went into negative growth and I've made it back. But this is very difficult to do. And part of the reason I'm doing this video is to save you from doing that. And what are these habits? Drugs, alcohol, women, porn, all the usual ones. You know all this stuff. And listen, I'm not saying you need to abstain and be the perfect fucking human being and all this stuff. Of course you don't. But what I'm saying is that these vices, it's very easy to then fall off this cliff. And then you tend to get into that mentality of, oh, it's someone else's fault or it's their blah, 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 blah. You get into that victim mentality and you don't get anywhere with that. Okay. So that is the second path. Now, the path that I'm sure all of you want to walk is this path. So this is what it's going to look like for you. Boom. So this is what we call exponential growth. But the cost of this is time. The benefit is hero status. However, the hard bit is that for most of this time, you get about that much growth. Now, as I said at the beginning, this can apply to your fitness, to your health, to your business, to your money, to your mindset, whatever you want it to apply to. It doesn't really matter. The hardest part about this path is that you normally walk it alone. Whenever you're trying to do something big, the bigger that you try and do something, the bigger the thing you're trying to do, the fewer people who are trying to do it. The fewer the people that care, the fewer the people that understand, and the fewer the people that are walking the path as well. Okay? So it's very lonely. And that's the hardest part, because along this journey here, this bit here, you have no idea most times whether you're doing the right thing, whether you're doing it the right way. And the worst part, the hardest part, is you have no idea how long this time is. I've just put time here on purpose. It's not 5 years, 10 years, 1 year. You don't know, because it's proportionate to the amount of time you put into it. So could you achieve it in 1 year? Maybe. Is it more likely to be 5? Probably. Will it take some people 10? Definitely. But the point is, if you walk this path, if you keep walking it and you don't give up, you will get that exponential growth. And this bit here, what we call this is what everybody else calls overnight successes. They don't see this bit and they don't care about that bit. No one cares. Your mum cares, maybe. And even she doesn't really care that much because she doesn't really understand what the hell you're doing. But she cares because she loves you, because she's your mum. This path gets you to here, but it is not like this. And everybody thinks that the path is linear because they've seen Rocky, they've seen the movie, and they've seen the cutscene, and they think, oh, well, this is easy. I can do this. I can do that. It's never like that, guys. There's no cameras on you. There's no motivational music. It's early mornings. It's long nights. It's work you don't want to do. It's failing over and over again. It's wanting to give up, but not giving up. It's every single negative emotion you can imagine, times 10, experiencing it all in a vacuum by yourself in an echo chamber. And it does not look like this. It is not linear. It is not a case of, oh, well, I've done 12 hours work today, so tomorrow I'm going to make some money. No, it is not like that. You will spend days, weeks, months, and maybe even years getting nothing back. You will get no feedback. And you have to get very comfortable with that. But if you do get comfortable with that and you keep putting the inputs in, you keep building the blocks, eventually, over time, you will succeed exponentially like this. It will go like this. And I'll give you an example of this, right? So in the fitness world, in terms of like my body, my fitness, my health, I've still got room to grow, but I'm like here, let's say. Like I'm on the exponential path now, where it to me almost feels effortless because I've been doing it for so long. I know the habits, I know the routines, I know exactly what to do. I've got all the information, I'm applying it, I've got the mindset, I've got the belief system. Whereas on the business world, me trying to build my own business, or YouTube, like me trying to do my own YouTube, I'm like here. But because I've done this, I've walked this path in another area on my fitness and ended up here, I've experienced this exponential growth curve. I know I can apply the same principles and keep walking this path on over here. What's also cool is because I've done it once, even though it's something completely different, I've got the mindset and I've got the time. So now, when I say I've got the time, it means I'll be able to do, I'll be able to do it quicker. So I put this together, guys, to like help you to understand. There's a lot of mess on this now. Let me try and clear some of this up. Cool. Clear this up, clear this up, clear that up, clear that up, clear that up, clear that up. There we go. Cool. So recap. It's not linear. It will take a lot of time. You don't know how much time. The more time you put in, the more inputs you put in, the greater your success. The more patient you are, the more diligent you are, the more pain that you can take over a period of time, working in a vacuum, in an echo chamber with no feedback, positive or negative, the more success you will get exponentially. It could take years, it could take decades. And I think this is why so many people talk about picking something they're passionate about. I don't think you necessarily have to be passionate about it, but it helps because you're far more likely to stick at something that you are passionate about, a cause that you care about. And I think it's important to recognize that if you've done it in one area, like your fitness, for example, or if you've done it in your business, it's going to be far easier for you to do it with your fitness because it's all about principles, guys. If you apply these principles, regardless of the area, regardless of what you're trying to achieve, you will get there. And the other thing I would say here is, like I said, I just want to reaffirm this. Disassociate these two axes. So disassociate time and success. Because if you obsess over, well, I've done it for 3 months, or I've done it for a year, or I've done it for 2 years, you're immediately setting yourself up to fail. You just need to accept that you don't know how long it's going to take, but it will happen. And that's why you just have to turn up and keep going every single day. And the last thing I would say is don't worry about your position. Worry about which path you're on. So you don't want to be on that path. You don't want to be on that path. You want to be on this path. So it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're here, 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 or here. You just want to make sure that you are on that path and not that one and not that one. Now, most people are on this path here. My skills are getting worse as we go on. Very few people are on this one. I think especially people watching this, they're probably not on that one. But you might have been on that one. And by the way, like I said, it is possible to do that, to boomerang it. But you've got to put up with this bit where you're clawing back the negativity. But guys, that is today's lesson. Let's call it a lesson. First time using Miro, first time using Loom. I hope that was useful. I'll try and get this uploaded now. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys.